you noticed that AI-generated content sites were getting hit. And I made this podcast about it, and it did just exceptionally well. And that's how I first noticed you, Gagan Ghotra. That's how I first noticed you. And after that, you've just posted banger after SEO banger after SEO banger, and you're always posting cool insights. And I'm just so happy to have you on. Welcome to the show, Gagan Ghotra.
Thanks, Edward. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. And also, I'm happy to hear that you got the best views by making a video about my ex-post.
Dude, you post great stuff. So I want to start with this question. What interesting or cool SEO things are you seeing right now?
I think right now, what is happening with the August spam update that is rolling out, Google is making some really, really cool changes, especially in the discover algorithms. So if you're a publisher, you should be watching out there. And what I'm seeing so far is that they are trying to sort of like pin down on the topic level sites. So if you are a publisher who writes about 10 topics, you are at disadvantage there. But if you write about like 2 or 3 topics, you are pinpoint more specific, then you are getting more visibility in Google Discover.
Yeah, general topic, or it's not even topical authority if it's general, or just like general sites are getting hit. It was over the last couple of years, I think they've been getting hit a lot, whereas the sites that actually niche down are doing so much better.
Yeah, I think one of the challenge with SEO is like most people present it as search engine optimization, like you are trying to optimize for a search engine. But most people ignore is like at the end of the day, what you are trying to optimize is content. It's images, text, and videos that you want search engine to value. Rest of the things like doing some technical fixes, having right URLs, that does not matter. What matters is the content itself. That's why I mostly think as that you are not doing SEO, you are just doing content optimization. And whatever you are, either you are a small business in New York or you are one of the largest companies in the world, whatever content you have and any product that is associated with that content, you want to optimize that and be presentable everywhere. And SEO is just a name for that, but the game starts from the content itself.
SEO gives you the data to actually know what to optimize for, because like it is best, I think, to optimize a single piece of content for a certain keyword. SEO gives you the keyword that's going to have the most volume, that the most people are searching. And then from that point on, you have to really think about, okay, what does this person who is searching this actually want? What are they actually looking for? I agree with that. I wanted to go back to the spam update. So, I've seen a lot of people actually getting increases from the spam update, myself included. Have you seen that? Or have you just seen like crazy volatility, sites getting hit left and right?
I think right now it's crazy volatility, except the fact that what I already mentioned, that more specific people are getting more visibility in Discover. So that's the one thing. But as of now, like it's really hard to say anything because I'm looking at across like 38 sites right now. We manage 38 publishers, and one is up, one is down, one is up by 15%, but other is down by 10%. That is the whole story. But the overall picture is not clear. But I think as the update rollout finishes, we will see some dust settle, specifically around the AI generated people like who have gone like hands-on, just AI generated content. I think they will get hit by the end of the as the update finishes.
Did you see my post about AInvest?
Yes, I did.
AInvest is, I think, the most interesting case study in SEO right now. Like entirely AI generated content. June 25, they were at 275,000 clicks a month from Google. Now they went up to it in like under 2 months, they went up to, I think, over 9 million clicks a month from Google. Right now, they are at, oh shit, they got hit. Oh man, they got hit. Whoa. Wow, they got hit.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. They're at 1 million clicks a month from Google. Still 4 times what they were June 25, But they got, oh my gosh, I can't wait to make content about this. They got hit. AInvest finally got hit. Wow. I
And
kind of feel bad. I feel like it was
I think
partly my fault.
I think it was last week or the week before that someone also posted that they did some poster around SEMrush or something, and their content which sort of like picked by that site, and they also published that page was ranking. And in that comments, I replied to you that this one is about to get huge anytime.
Yeah, I think what you're referencing is this guy on LinkedIn. He wanted to move his he had like some bad post about his company on page 1 of Google. He put out a press release in order to push it down onto page 2. He talked about SEMrush, and SEMrush had a stock drop at that time, and AInvest accidentally misattributed SEMrush's stock drop with this guy's company. And it was the AI literally giving false financial information. And that was ranking really high for SEMrush stock drop. And which is clearly not good. I'm like, man, they got, I wonder if they'll go below 275. Because right now they're still at a win. Right now they are still at a win. They're at 4 times what they were June 25th. I wonder, like, what do you think will happen?
I think they will go down. They will further go down, and I think it will just end up like maybe 100K to 100K clicks a month kind of thing. I mean, they will get hit because one of the thing is like, is it AI generated content, or is there anything more to it that Google is looking for?
They're showing up in the top stories a lot. This method of marketing is so effective, I had to make sure it wasn't against Google's rules before I kept doing it. It's a form of SEO I call compact keywords. Whereas most SEO focuses on putting up articles to answer questions how, what, when, compact keywords focuses on putting up dozens of pages that sell to searchers who are actually looking to buy. These pages rank on Google and convert so much better than normal that when I discovered this years ago, I couldn't believe this was allowed. It's less work too. The average compact keywords page is only 415 words. Compact Keywords is a 13-hour deep course on getting sales with SEO. A customer recently said, "Each lesson is dense with information. You're giving years worth of experience boiled down into 15 to 30-minute lessons with no filler or fluff. I feel like I'm gaining a new superpower." Compact Keywords is about setting up an SEO funnel that brings you sales for years and years and years. It works with AI, it's less work than traditional SEO, and it makes way more money. You can get it now at compactkeywords.com. Back to the podcast.
But what I'm trying to get to is like, does Google like or hate AI generated content, or is there anything more to it? Like, is it because it's AI generated content, or is it spam that Google has already been trying to detect for years? So that is the one thing. Like, you can use AI to create content, but you can use AI to create spam as well. And Google is really good in detecting spam part of thing. But if you're using AI to create or manufacture content which does not look
Do you
like
think it's spam?
then you can. This one, yes, it is spam, because even if you skim through the content, you can clearly see the citations where after 1 or 2 lines, it's in the box where it says 1, 2, 3. Usually people don't read like that. They don't. People don't like prefer to read that kind of the content.
But why
like
they're citing sources? Why is that spam?
They are citing sources, but that is not what users expect. Like if anyone is going to any
but
blog,
Wikipedia cites sources. If anything, I think citing sources only makes them more credible.
It makes them more credible, but do people like to read that kind of the pages? Like if anyone is searching for their daily need, let's say anyone.
I'll tell you this: I think if you are making financial decisions, and that's what AInvest is, it's financial news, and you are making financial decisions, you want sources to be cited.
Yeah, but then the challenge becomes like around the branding part of it. Like for financial investment, will you trust AInvest or like Motley Fool or some other?
I wouldn't say that it's like, I don't think it's pure spam. I think it just didn't deserve to be ranking very well in the first place, because they literally say this is not human reviewed. They write that as a disclaimer in their articles. I don't know if I would call that spam, because I actually think they made the content. They didn't really make the content for SEO in the first place. I think they accidentally, I mean, I know, so actually I know some stuff about the company, and so I'm not going to like say what I know, but it seems like they made, they wanted to have really good AI generated financial content. And it just so happened to rank really well and threw off very strong EAT signals. And I think they actually got all of this success with SEO by accident. They weren't actually trying to game SEO with scaled content.
I feel like they may have consulted some SEO, external people, to see like what they can try out. They may have gotten the idea to try it out, or they may have like tested it at small scale, and as soon as it sort of like worked,
I'm so
they were like,
I literally know I can't.
okay,
I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after this, because I promised a person that I wouldn't publicly say. But
but the challenge with their content is that I think I still feel like you can have good content generated using AI. But now the problem for Google is like they are not looking at the on-page content for violations of scaled content abuse policy. So let me just go back to 2024. Like in March, when Google rolled out the core update, with that, they introduced some new spam policies. And with that, they said that scaled content abuse is one of the spam policies right now. And in that policy, what they are saying is that you should not be creating content at scale. Either it be using AI or just using humans. Like you should not be publishing like 1,000 pages a day, no matter however you are doing it. Like you have 1,000 people writing one article each, or you just have like some GPT or something else. And I think around August or September, they did a minor change into their documentation where it used to say that web spam is content. They switched it to web spam is technique. And that changed the whole game around how the spam policies work. So before that change, Google used to look at the content to make a judgment around like if a site is violating their spam policy. But after that change, they're not looking at content. They're looking at the technique that is being used to generate the content. And Dennis Alvin, even I think it was at Search Central event in New York or the one that they did in Switzerland. I'm not sure. Like it was there. Dennis Alvin in the slides that he presented, he exactly talked about that point, and he had a whole slide about it.
Quality raters guidelines, right? Where he's like for the quality raters, he's like, I want you to assign the lowest score possible for AI generated content.
For AI generated content. And then that minor change, I think it was not reported that much in the SEO land, but Barry Schwartz from Search Engine Roundtable, he did write an article about it. So right now, what is happening is like, you can say that my page is good content, but that does not matter if you are creating hundreds of those pages every day using AI, because it is a technique that matters. And that's what Google will look at, and they will be like, oh, this is a violation of scaled content abuse policy, and we should be issuing a major spams problem manual action. And that's what AInvest should have gotten, but they have not yet.
Yeah. It really was. So what was most interesting about that was they got their boost from the June update. They got it was really like the June update that boosted them, and they were just chugging along at like a good rate by then. And they're a site, by the way, that has existed since 2021 for a while. Like they've existed for 2021, since 2021. They've worked on their stuff, and they put out. They were doing things well. I wonder though, like they're still at 1 million clicks a month. And, the things are volatile. They could actually, like, when this airs tomorrow, they could be back up. Who knows what'll happen? Or they could go down further.
Or maybe a manual action.
Or maybe
next week.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Oh man. So you know what? At the beginning of the year, or let's just go to March. In March, they were only at 65,000 clicks a month. So this is just that's 6 month view. One year back, 1 year ago. Oh my gosh, 1 year ago they were at 10,000 clicks a month. Imagine going from 10,000 clicks a month to their peak a year later at 9.5 million.
Yeah. And I always wonder, like, if you're creating content at scale, is it reaching to your ideal customer? Like, what is their average conversion rate from like organic search visitor? Like, because they are creating more of the top of the funnel content. Like, there is some bottom of the funnel content as well, but most of it, what is getting featured in top of
Well,
in
dude, I'll
top
tell you,
stories in search
so like
results.
they have actual products. They're not like an AI news
Yes.
company. So they have actual products, and it's like AI products. And so what they do, it's really cool. They literally put this AI product into the articles where you can ask the AI financial questions about the content of the article, which gets you to then like create an account and then use their tool more and come back to it.
Yes.
I thought that, yeah.
Yeah. But what I was trying to get to is like, if you're creating so much content about, let's say, right now, some big financial news breaks out. Yeah. And they write an article about it. And people who are coming to search results, they are not coming to buy their product. They are coming to get the information, even if they are reading their pages. So what is their like, is it 1 in 100 people who are coming from Google search to their pages who are signing up for that? That's what I'm
Oh
trying
yeah,
to get to. Like, if
sure. Low conversion
yeah,
rates, yeah.
what is their net conversion rate like? What do you think? Like, is it going to be like maybe 10%, 20% is what they are at,
No,
or
it's gonna be
maybe
like way
lower?
lower than that. Come on, it's gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna be like crazy low. But like again, like their
Yeah.
numbers are so high, and it's like their brand. It's also like increasing their brand awareness a lot. And like honestly, if I was in a financial niche, like and I kept seeing AInvest, I would really take a look at this, be like, oh, maybe this is something that I
Yeah.
should use.
Yeah, sure. I think for now, the strategy is working out really well for them. But stepping back, like, will I recommend this to any other
I
business?
would never
Let's
recommend
say
this to
you're
like, yeah, if someone was like someone paying me, am I going to go, yeah, you should make thousands of AI generated pages a day? No.
thousands.
Yeah, you're like, of course not. But I
Yeah.
just thought what was so cool about it is like, there's a lot that we as SEOs and as marketers can learn about why they were successful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we can do analysis of like trying to figure out like what is working out right for them. But at the end of the day, we have also need to look at, should these sites rank in search results? And this is the main question that I ask, like when anyone is trying to reach out to me and get sort of like my consulting services, because a lot of different type of the people reach out to me. Like recently, someone from Brazil reached out, and I was like, should these pages and the content that you're
Wait,
publishing
did you say
rank in
browsers?
search results? Brazil.
Oh my God, you said Brazil. I
Brazil.
thought you said Brazzers, the porn company.
Oh yeah, my Z is really strong. I think.
Okay.
You might. Yeah. So what I was trying to say is like, sometimes as a SEO, you have to make an assessment that should this page be ranking in search results.
Yeah, it's a thing
whenever
about quality. That's what it's like. Should AI generated financial advice be showing up? Like, is that high quality or low quality? Clearly, it's low quality. They can dress it up as much as they want, and that's why they succeeded. I believe they succeeded because they dressed it up in legitimate authority signals. But like, that's like low quality content. And you know what you were saying had me thinking about user generated content, because there's lots of web apps out there or just apps that they have tons of user generated content. They have a question. Okay. Like we have all this UCG UGC. We have all this user generated content.
UGC.
Should we should we try to have all this indexed? And you have to ask yourself, if a searcher came across this page, is it going to be useful? So like with one of my companies, we have a lot of user generated content, and we debated for a while about using AI to make the user generated, trying to make the user generated content like more useful. The UGC alone wasn't that useful. So then we said, okay, but like what if we like had AI expound upon like the content? Would that be better? And the answer was no, because it would just end up being a lot of duplicate content. And like maybe like there would be like a few pages in there that would be useful, but most of it would be junk. Whereas if you compare that with something like Reddit, a lot of Reddit posts and comments are actually valuable. And that's why Google surfaces them so much. People like to complain like Reddit is winning, but a lot of people like to get their answers from Reddit.
Yeah. I think with Reddit, the challenge is that Reddit do have high quality content, but at the same time, like, should low quality content from Reddit also be ranking?
No, and Google
But
doesn't
it
want
is
that.
ranking
But
right
Google
now.
doesn't want that.
But it is ranking right now.
Yeah, but that's just
scale,
that's just
like,
because it's a hard problem to
that's
solve.
a hard problem to solve. And also, like, coming back to your UGC point, like, I was like sort of like tracking two experiments. One was from Reddit, and one was is still running from TikTok. So Reddit, back in December last year, they launched a KLP subfolder, reddit.com/KLP. And all the pages there were aggregated posts and comments from existing pages. So what they were trying to do is like best shaving cream or shaving gel in UK, best shaving gel in Australia, best shaving gel in India. And they were trying to create a ton of these pages with best, and sort of like have existing comments and the posts aggregated on those pages. So what they were trying to do is like they picked a title and they went into like 3 or 4 subreddits. They collected the comments and the posts and they merged it together just on one page and created that page under KLP subfolder. Initially for around like 3-4 months, those pages were ranking. They were doing really, really well in search results. But since like last month, they're starting to drop. And I think what went wrong there is like Reddit was not able to make a better judgment around like what post or what comment they should be picking from different subreddits to add on those pages that they were creating for different titles and the keywords. But coming back to TikTok now, TikTok also has a subfolder Discover, tiktok.com/discover, which also has aggregated videos. And what they are trying to do right now is they are trying to create Discover pages for each brand. So you may try to search for like tiktok.com/discover/Nike, and you will see a page for Nike where they have aggregated all the user videos. Yeah,
I'm doing it right now.
Edward is trying it right now. Yeah. So where you will see all the videos which are posted by users about Nike shoes and everything else. And that page is somewhat useful. And what I'm saying right now is that in some countries, those kind of the branded pages are starting to rank for branded queries.
Oh, it's interesting.
Like so
I did Nike, but it actually 301'd back to their homepage. But so Discover exists as a page, and then you click on something in it, and then it goes to a different subfolder, like /music or /tag.
Yep. And I think it should work for the brand name as well, because for one of our clients in
/company and then Nike or something.
I'm not sure about the exact URL right now, but 1 second.
I'm like I'm very interested in how TikTok is aggregating content for SEO. TikTok has actually pretty good rankings. TikTok content, I'm saying this from experience, TikTok content ranks really well.
Yeah.
And when Datos looked at the top ranking websites, it was all UGC. Like most of the top ranking sites were user generated content, and TikTok was right up there in the top 10.
Yeah. I think it should be somewhere around tiktok.com/discover. And even if you do site search in Google, you should be able to see like some brands over there.
Right.
Yeah. I think what I was trying to get there is like they are aggregating all the videos. So if you go to that kind of page, you just see the videos. There is not much insight around like what a specific video is about. But even still right now, like Google is ranking like many of those pages. And like for one of our clients based out of Sydney, if you search their brand name, first result is their website, second is that discover page. And Google is like, yeah, this page might be as relevant as the website of the brand,
but it might be
the brand name.
But it might be useful.
It might be useful. But if you go to that page, you just see a collection of videos, video. There is not much information around like
but if they're
what
taking
each video is about.
If they're taking the top performing videos about the brand, those videos are going to be pretty darn entertaining.
Yeah. And what I was trying to come back to is like, if TikTok start to add more of text with those videos explaining what first row of the videos is about, what second row of the video is about, what that kind of the programmatic approach around like where you are taking your UGC, you're collecting your all that content and you are structuring it in a somewhat useful way, that must rank in search results. But Reddit tried to do that. Reddit failed because their approach was not right, like how they were picking the post and the comment. But
so
TikTok may succeed.
Was the Reddit, the KG, what was it? What was the
KLP?
Yeah, it was the KLP. So these KLP posts, were they handpicked or was it just all automatically generated?
I think it was automatically generated because they were creating thousands of those every week.
Oh, they were.
So
thousands of these like best thing. I mean, that's a clear SEO play. I'm surprised that
that's a clear SEO.
Yeah. I'm surprised, and you know they have a partnership with Google. Honestly, I feel like if it was another site that tried that, it would have gotten a hit.
Partnership with Google. So, but what I was trying to get to is like, if you have any sort of UGC content, either you own it or you see that people are posting about you, you should try to figure out a way to aggregate that on your pages. Either it be programmatic approach or something like that, and try to make it as useful as possible for your users. So those kind of approaches do work.
Wait, what was the air quote for the Reddit Google partnership?
Because I'm a little bit sus on the fact that it might be possible that Google is artificially boosting Reddit in search results and everywhere else.
Everyone thinks that. Everybody thinks that. I mean,
everyone. Do you think that in search ranking systems or ranking equations there is something where it says if its domain is Reddit, then add 100 or something like that?
I think it's possible, but I don't think that. But I don't think that favoritism. I don't think that favoritism is necessarily a bad thing, because a lot of people were like, this is me being a contrarian to much of the SEO community, who thinks the favoritism is terrible. I think it's totally possible that Google is boosting Reddit. A lot of people think that, but I mean, a lot of searchers were literally adding Reddit to their searches before this. They wanted more Reddit content surfaced. And if Reddit is getting higher CTRs and lower bounce rates, and it's just searchers are preferring that, and if content on Reddit is less likely to be like a pay to play thing, lots of huge publishers, there's Parasite SEO and lots of huge publishers, then is it so bad that like lots of Reddit results are showing in the search results? And I'd make the argument no.
Yeah, I think one of the real insight that I've learned after doing a study of all these Reddit pages is if you go to any Reddit page, you have probably the broadest spectrum of opinion about whatever that page is. If that page is talking about a product, you will see people saying it's great, it's okay, it's all right, it's amazing. You will see the broadest spectrum of opinion, and everyone is explaining their thing that I think this is okay, here is why. Some people use really, really harsh language over there, but they are explaining whatever their experience is. Is any publisher be able to create that kind of a page? It's impossible. You have a writer who is doing a product review. they get to a certain point where they find that this is good, this is bad, this is all right, let me just write it. But they cannot have that level of experience where someone is saying that I have actually used this product and so and so. And I will just give you like crazy example. Like back in 2022, we used to work with a sort of like credit cards review publisher. And there was this one case where we noticed that this credit card company has provided us all the information around like what are the benefits and everything else. And yeah. And there was one benefit which people used to buy the card for. And I will just give you like a pseudo example where you can book tickets to San Francisco and you get extra points here. But what happened is like on Sunday, you don't get those extra points. And there is no information on the web on the fact that this is the best credit card if you travel to San Francisco frequently. But on the web, nowhere, even the company has hidden the fact that on Sunday, if you travel, you don't get those points. How do you get that fact out? It came from a Reddit comment where someone was complaining that my daughter was doing this. She was supposed to get 12,000 points, but she did not get anything. And that's how we sort of like discovered that, oh, this guy, this happened with him. He reached out to the company. And then only the exclusive information was shared that, okay, this is the edge case. You were expecting 12,000 points, but you did not get that. So those kind of the information points, really, really edge case, that can only come from like Reddit. Like you cannot access that kind of the experience, real world experience information as a publisher, even if you're trying really, really hard,
Yeah. And also, I'll add to that, and I will just say a lot of publishers put in so much fluff, and searchers hate that. You hate that. I hate that. It is just one of the most frustrating things. You're trying to get a quick answer. You come across a page, there's a long introduction, there's a huge image, maybe the image is even unrelated, and what you're actually looking for is buried in the middle of the article, and then half of the times, it's not even a complete answer. On Reddit,
yes,
you click the link in the search results, and then you see your answer right there in 1 or 2 sentences.
Yeah.
Of course, people are going to prefer that.
Yeah. And even like internally, like whenever I'm talking with our team and we are reviewing any publisher and seeing like why they are going up or why they are going down, we sort of like over the years, we find that generally like everywhere across the world, like even if a publisher is based out of Australia or India or US, the quality of the editorial has been going down. There used to be great product reviews, but what happened over time is like publishers got to know that they did the testing of the product. They found a negative point. If they publish that, they're going to most likely lose the next affiliate deal with that brand. And that just added up. Like if you look at last 7-8 years, that fear of missing out with brand deals and brand partnerships with the next product release and everything else that have added up with all the publishers, and they have controlled their editorial according to that. So it's even if anyone is getting like some sort of negative factor around any product or a serious negative thing, they are a little bit hesitant to actually publish that because they don't want to lose their future business opportunity. And you see it everywhere. And then there comes a point where Google is left with no choice, where everyone is hesitant to say it is what it is, what they got from the testing. But Redditors are the one, they are anonymous. They don't have like any brand partnership, or they are not looking at any future business partnerships with the brands. And they are saying like, I did this, it is what it is. Here is my answer. Like, so.
Yeah, I completely get it. Let me ask you this. Are you bullish or bearish about the future of SEO?
I feel like I'm concerned.
Are you?
Yes. Because what I see on the ground is that people want to get out of any channel which is uncertain for them. And SEO is getting really, really uncertain. I think SEO is not dying like they used to be. Like even in 2010 or 2011, people used to say that SEO is dead. But what is happening is that over the years, if we look at like last 10 years, SEO is becoming more and more uncertain. And if you are a business owner looking at the numbers, trying to figure out like where you should be allocating your budget,
why is it becoming more uncertain?
it's just crazy. In the search result, the volatility is insane. Like we work with e-commerce brands, your rankings can change week to week. So if you're expecting to spend like 10K a month on SEO, you want at least certainty of making 10K minimum. That is a bare minimum. Or if your goal is to get 100K out of those, that 10K monthly investment. But if the search results and the nature of the ranking is changing, you will be like one month you are at like 20K, and next month you are at like 5K, and next month you may be at 3K. And as a business owner, looking at the quarterly number and saying that, oh, I've spent this much on SEO. Someday I'm up, someday I'm down, someday I'm this, someday I'm that. And then comes some other agency who is like, you are getting these results from SEO. We know that you are getting some months are up, some months are down, but using Google Ads, Meta Ads, we can provide you consistent results. As a business owner, more people are going with that. That's what I'm noticing in Australia. Like,
So you think it's more volatile than it has been in the past?
it's more volatile, and that volatility is creeping into business owners, and they are like,
I was
oh
looking
man,
at
that is not
looking
it.
at my Google Search Console for like some of my properties, and
Yeah.
because I'm actually extremely bullish on SEO, and like
Okay.
for my properties, there's no vol.
And sorry, Edward. Personally, I am also bullish on
Okay.
SEO, but what I said is from the business owner's perspective, they are not bullish on SEO.
Yeah, they're not because they don't know what we know. And because like I'm looking at my Google Search Console
Yeah.
and I'm literally seeing year over year increases on pages that I might not have touched for years just because they were made with
Yeah.
the right fundamentals. And like I can't even, all of my sites right now are actually getting an increase from the spam update. It's like crazy.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
So you know what? Okay, I made this podcast yesterday about how, despite what Sundar Pichai said in May, I think it was on Lex Friedman. He's like, the open web is stronger than ever. He said something like that. And I don't know if you saw the what Google's lawyers recently said, where they
Google
literally
lawyers,
said it's
yeah.
like in rapid decline. They literally said the
Yep.
open web is in rapid decline. And you know what? I think, and this is a bad thing to say, I think that's great news for SEOs, because people are still going to continue to do searches. They're going to search on Google. They're going to put queries to ChatGPT or Perplexity, which use Google results. Like the way to, if you want to influence ChatGPT, it's with a website. So what Google's lawyers are saying is there's less publishers. You have less competition, where the market is still, now the question is the market just as big? You know, there's now people are using Instagram and people are using TikTok and people are using YouTube. Is the market,
I think
yeah, go on.
one of the challenge with like Google trying to push AI overviews and AI mode is that you're getting insane amount of impressions, but not much clicks. Like
Top of funnel
last week I posted-
is a terrible investment. I believe that for like the last 5 years, the top of funnel is a terrible investment.
But I think if you are just like a general publisher, like who writes about news and everything else, like you have like 10, 20 topics, like one of our clients do that. And in last month, they got 106 million impressions. And guess how many clicks? Just in search results, in Search Console, it says 106 million impressions. How many clicks do you think that there will be like for August month?
Oh, I don't know. Tell me.
Around 800.
Oh man, I was going to say 1 million. That's crazy.
So it's essentially that because their content is getting cited a lot in AI overviews and AI mod, and they are getting in crazy amount of impressions. So like you're not even getting like 1% of users who are seeing your content.
So I'll tell you what I think. So actually, I had Rand Fishkin on the show a few months ago, and Rand's argument for this was, oh, that's great, because these impressions are lots of people who are seeing your brand. So actually your top of mind awareness is going up. And I think that's a cool way to look at it. And I applaud that outlook. My belief for publishers is that all publishers, like if you're a publisher, you probably have and if you've been around for a while, if you're a news publisher, you've probably been around for a while, you probably have decent domain authority. Like you probably, like, if you actually target a keyword, even if it's like a kind of competitive keyword, there might be a good chance that you can rank for it just because you have like such legit authority. My belief is that all publishers should start creating products and using SEO to get customers for their products, and using SEO to iterate on their products and go after bigger keywords and enterprise keywords and all of these things, and actually develop products for their brands. And it's not like a really cool take to say that, because like the world needs news and we need legit, authentic news publishers. But if you want to continue to be a news publisher, and you want to make sure that you're able to monetize that because you believe in the news, and you can't count on the traffic that Google is going to bring you, but you still want to continue making news because you believe it's ethically important, create a product and monetize with a product and use that to fund to fund the news part of the business. I just think it's a shame to see that domain authority go to waste.
Yes, I also think so. But the challenge with these news publishers is like these are like really, really large companies, and any idea take like months to actually move. So like we work with a publisher, we proposed an idea to make their own chatbot. So we sort of like give it a name, a nice name, and sort of like encourage everyone who is coming on the pages to sort of like use it, that this is our product, you can use it to talk with our site. And it took us like from idea to actual implementation and making it live around 8 months.
Wow.
And most of that was just like back and forth between the teams here and there. And actual development was like 5-6 weeks.
I mean, that's the case with any large company. It's like, yeah, I mean, and that's why why it's easier for startups.
Yeah. And even I think right now, like if you're looking to do optimization for AI overviews or AI search, those enterprises, they're going to take like long time to actually move in that direction. And if you're a small business or a medium-sized business and you can just like boom, 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 then you have a fair bit of like a good shot of being the front runner. Like,
say that again.
Being a front runner and to try to get the more visibility in AI mode. Like you can just try things, test things, keep on moving, and whatever work, double down on that, and just keep it.
So you're bullish about SEO.
Yes, I am bullish about SEO, but the market also have to be bullish about SEO, and I hope that market stays bullish about SEO.
What opportunities do you see in search engine optimization right now?
E-commerce is the biggest opportunity right now, and if you can do proper optimization, Google Merchant Center, and of course your content, internal links, right images, right branding, you can literally generate like insane amount of revenue.
What are mistakes that people make with Google Merchant Center?
Google Merchant Center, their feeds are not set up properly. That is the number one thing. Either their feeds are invalid, or their feeds and the product structure is set up such that Google is not able to identify the different variations. That's the number one mistake that people are doing right now.
What is it, aside from that, what is something that everyone has to do with it?
I think even it's not about Merchant Center, but what I have noticed is that most people don't have the right images on their product pages. And that is the biggest flop. Like even if you manage to bring in users to your product pages, still people have to actually see the product and they have to make a judgment around like how this is going to look on me if it's a shirt or something like that. And if you can move with the right images, doing the right CRO optimization on your pages, then you can get to a point where you're actually converting the traffic that is coming from Google.
Dude, it's not just physical products too. I made an episode about how images can actually hurt SEO. And that episode did pretty well, because I see this all the time, and it could be a SaaS company, it could be a services business, and people will put these like very general images on their product pages, on their bottom of funnel SEO pages. They will be like, so let's say you have like a meditation app and you're targeting keywords around meditation. People might put for this meditation app, instead of putting a screenshot of the app, which is what you should put, so they might put someone meditating on a beach or something, or someone meditating with rocks, but you should actually put an image of the app. If you're a services business, you actually put an image of like one of your workers doing the service that you're describing. Or like if it's an issue that you're targeting, the issue is a keyword, like a broken pipe or something, you put the broken pipe, or you put the broken pipe being fixed, or things like that, instead of like these very general images. And then, or for like top of funnel, actually, I've seen that the best thing to do for top of funnel, so publishers, if it's for most of the time, to not even have, you'll have a featured image as like an excerpt, but on the actual page, you won't even have an image above the fold. I think that does really well because people get their answers a lot faster.
Yeah, of course. I think like how you should design your product page, that should also come from the fact that how you want people to experience your product. So we used to work with a brand who do comfy sort of like hoodies, like comfortable hoodies, like which you can wear in winter. So it's almost like a sweatshirt combined with hoodie kind of thing, like sort of like that, a mix up sort of fashion thing. And what we notice is that if we make a carousel of people actually wearing that, and that is at the top of the page. So if you come to the page and the first thing that you see is 3 videos of different people, it starts to autoplay without sound. And they are like doing this, they're showing you, and they're like this, that even in winter, it's all right and it's fashionable. That just improved the conversion rate to a lot. Like, so that is how you need to think, like what sort of like will convince anyone to just go ahead and say that I want to buy this, either it be image, video, or UGC content, or even if like someone is coming to my page of SEO services, and if I'm sitting here and saying that I've done this by my SEO product or something like that. I think that's what you do on your product page. I think you have the compact
keywords,
keywords.
Yes, it's the same thing. Give people what they want as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's the point.
And that's why I'm like the people who I see getting hit a lot. It's like these old school SEOs who were doing bad content with they were putting up like just really bad pages using SEO fundamentals. And because Google just hasn't been as smart, and Google's gotten a lot smarter. It used to work, and they're like, oh, it's not working anymore. Why is it not working? It used to work. It shouldn't have been working in the first place. And if you had been doing it this way from the beginning, you would have had just much more durable rankings. That's why when I look at Google Search Console, I'm like, oh man, this is amazing, because these pages haven't been touched for 6 years or something, but they were made with these principles in the first place. And so, of course, they're going to do well because it gives users what they want immediately. There are some some weird nuances though. So like, I actually think if you're like, let's say you have a bunch of product pages and you're putting the same image on it above the fold on like each product page, I think it's actually better to upload the image. It's the same image that's occurring on multiple SEO product pages, but you actually put that image up, you upload it to your media files multiple times with different file names, and the file names have the keyword that you're targeting in them. So it's the same exact image, but it's uploaded to your CMS with like multiple times with different file names. And that's a weird nuance of SEO. That's like not just like create good content. That's like a weird nuance that like a lot of people don't know.
And also, like, I'll just give you one tip. Like, there is a lot of debate around like what the alt text of image should be. Like, should you add keywords or how long it should be or anything like that? What we have been testing is like in Google AI Studio, you can just go to Gemini 2.5 Pro, upload your image, upload all the content that is there on the page, and just say to it, write alt text for this image, which is contextually relevant to the content it prepares like a beautiful alt text, and you will see that alt text is actually relevant to the text that you have on your page, rather than it being like keyword stuffed or anything like that. And we have tested it across 12 different e-commerce stores in Australia, and all the product images that we updated using this have seen like massive improvements in ranking. So you want your alt text to be contextually relevant to whatever text is there on the page. You don't need to think about keyword. Essentially, I think it is all right to think about keyword, but
I was going to ask
you
you,
want to think about
when you
context.
do this with Gemini, are you actually giving it your target keyword, or do you just copy you write the page, you give Gemini the page, and then you say, this is the image is appearing in this section, write the alt text.
Yeah.
And are you giving it the keyword or no?
No keyword. I'm saying it write the alt text, write the alt text for this image, which is contextually relevant to the content that I'm providing you. So I want image in a certain context. So for example, like an Apple image on a blog page can be about fruit, or it can be about a specific fruit or something like that. So, but when you say contextually relevant, in the alt text that it is going to generate, it will have that context around like what apple it is. Is it the fruit apple or is it the phone apple? So you want your alt text to be contextually rich to the content of the page, rather than it being keyword rich.
Right. And so what I'm saying is, because if you give an AI tool your target keyword when it's writing copy, there's a good chance that the output from the AI tool will be keyword stuffed. Something that a lot of people don't realize. So that's why I'm asking, are you actually giving Gemini the target keyword or no? That makes a lot more sense that you don't give it the target keyword, and then it's more likely to actually write just a better descriptive alt text. That's a really cool approach. I like that a lot. So you write the page first, then you give it like all the images, and then it writes the alt text. It doesn't know the target keyword. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
And you just say that I want it to be contextually relevant, and boom, it just do it.
And these images are performing well in Google image search as well.
Yeah, of course.
I think a lot of SEOs haven't looked at Google image optimization, but it's actually one of my favorite parts of SEO.
Yeah. I think for e-commerce, it performs really well, especially if you're targeting like women fashion. It does amazingly well. Like I've seen like even my girlfriend, like whenever she's trying to buy something, the first thing that she do is she go to images, and I was like, wow. So your search actually start from image search when you're trying to buy a new dress, and I was like, oh, okay, all right. Maybe this is a unique insight or something that I should use. And then I talked with, like, when I was talking with my clients as well. So even in their team, there are like many females, and I was like, how do you actually decide? And she was like, we decide by look. We don't decide by quality. So our search starts with look. So I was like, okay, all right. So maybe we should try to leverage this insight and somehow. And then I was like, maybe in blog pages at the top of the page, maybe instead of like having one image, I should create a carousel. And we tested that as well. And then using Microsoft Clarity, we saw that, the main focus is on that section of the page. So it actually works. So just like a general user behavior that we picked up, and then it was like, how do we scale it up in our strategy? And then over time, we sort of like tried to collect some data using Microsoft Clarity, and it worked across sites. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's cool.
Microsoft Clarity is great. For people who don't know, it is free CRO software from Microsoft. It gives you heat maps, click maps, scroll maps, all this stuff, and it's completely free from Microsoft.
Yep.
Yeah, Clarity is cool. You know what I noticed about using CRO software for SEO as well is like, it's like so helpful. I mean, when you do that, you see a lot of the things that I think we've been talking about in this conversation. Like, give people what they want as soon as you can, because it's what they're going to look for the most and what they're going to spend the most time on. When you give people what they want right away, then they go deeper into the rest of the content of the page. So something that I noticed with image optimization is that Google image search loves a variety of sources. So like, you could actually be targeting a keyword with images across your site, multiple images across your site, but actually Google wants to pull from multiple sites. And it's better to take your various images that target that keyword and put them in a bunch of different places, because Google is going to pull from that. Like, have an Instagram reel about it, and then it's going to literally use the thumbnail from the Instagram reel, and like all of this stuff. I haven't tested this, but I'm kind of curious. I wonder if you could use like services like Imgur to basically do image parasite SEO. That just came to mind. I wonder if you could do that. I don't know if you've heard anything.
No, we are not doing Parasite SEO for clients.
No, but it is. I think Parasite SEO is one of the
But
most
I think
interesting parts of SEO.
interesting part. Yes, I do it for my personal projects,
Okay.
but we are not like
All
selling
right,
it
wait.
as a
So all right,
service.
here, best parasite SEO platforms.
Oh God. Just use some high authority domain. Just buy a subfolder.
Buy a subfolder. Like what do you mean?
So for example, like let's say there is a big news publisher
Okay.
or even like a medium-sized news publisher in your country. You can go to them and say that you want to rent their subfolder, and you can do a lot of magic with that. I will not go into details, but
Well, no, I'm curious. Like, you're going to use an entire subfolder on a high authority news site for
yes,
Parasite SEO. So are you going to put in like a lot of content that's unrelated to the products that you're trying to promote, and then you only have like a few pieces that are promoting your target product?
yes, yep, and you can use it to build topical relevance for Google Discover boosting as well. So if I have my own site and I want it to get pushed in Google Discover, then I will go to this high authority site, rent their subfolder, create some content, be thoughtful about that, what the pages are about, and extensively link to my site, and it automatically get pushed into Google Discover.
How much would you pay for that?
It just depends, I think.
Yeah.
It's you usually these large publishers, if you go and you are trying to rent a subfolder, they can do revenue sharing partnership rather than it being like a one-time payment. That's what they look for. So if you can have like some monthly setup with them, they're fine with that. But they want like a percentage cut of whatever you are trying to make by renting it from them,
So you do this for affiliates, or you do this for your own companies?
For my own websites, which are like, of course, affiliate. But what I mostly try to do with that is like trying to understand like what actually Google Discover is valuing. What does Google Discover algorithm want? So by running these kind of tests, you can learn the edge cases, and you can try to work backward from those edge cases to identify that, okay, this is what Google Discover want to or look for into a site, and use those insights to actually sell it to the clients as Google Discover audits and say that this is what we need to do on a particular site to get it into Google Discover. But what I generally recommend to anyone is that you have to test the edge case to get real insights. So even if you are doing Parasite SEO, go to as edge as possible, test it out, burn the site to the ground, and then only you will learn something meaningful, which you can use in
burn the site to the ground. Now that's interesting. And
yeah.
So Harpreet, I think you follow him as well. He's great on X. So he came onto the show, and we kind of talked about doing like really crazy things with Black Hat SEO, and what we said is like, if we're going really crazy, we might actually isolate a site in its own Google Search Console using a different email address. And so I think it's just an interesting thing with Black Hat SEO that a lot of people don't, because like this is still like one of the craziest things that I've seen. And it was this woman on X called Niche Site Lady. And this was in May 2024. Google wanted to make an example of all of these sites that were using AI generated content. And so Niche Site Lady shared that one of her sites used AI generated content, but like I guess she had like 4 sites on her GSC, and the other 3 sites did not use AI generated content. All 4 sites were penalized because they were all sharing the same Google Search Console.
Simple.
Yeah. So I think it's so crazy. Um,
I think, sorry
no,
to
no, go
jump
on.
in, but I think these kind of things are somewhat conspiracy theories kind of thing, like, because it might be possible that Google wanted to create an example or something, but it might just be a coincidence, like if you have four websites in one search console and one site is really bad, or you want to hit that, why would Google be like going ahead with
Oh, this
hitting
was like
other
huge news.
three?
Google wanted, this was actually the reason why we didn't, with this site that had all this UGC stuff, we were going to use AI to like expand the UGC. And this was one of the reasons we didn't do it, because um, Google was getting vindictive with this. This was May 2024. And people were starting to really go hard at this time with AI generated content for SEO. And
Yeah.
it actually, maybe it was even earlier than that. Maybe it was even like March or something. And
Mhm.
yeah, so Google wanted to make examples of people. So I think if you're doing Black Hat SEO, it's better. I'm just like a better safe than sorry type of person, especially because like when it comes to search engine optimization, the way to win is to play the long game. The
Yeah.
way to win is to actually take a 5 to 10 year approach with SEO. And if you take the 5 to 10 year approach with SEO, you're also going to get better short-term results, which is something that a lot of people don't realize. But if you are
Yeah.
taking the 5 to 10 year approach with SEO and you want to try to mess around with shortcuts that are against the rules, and the shortcuts are really black hat, then it's like I don't know, it's safer to do it on a separate GSC.
Yeah. Like even like whenever I'm talking with like really small businesses, they are like, we can invest like this amount in SEO, but we want this return in like 2-3 months. And then I just tell them like SEO is more of like water. Like there is no immediate ROI. Like if you drink it, but that is what you need to survive in long term. So spending small amount, monthly amount or quarterly amount on SEO is something that you should not expect immediate ROI out of it. It's almost like expecting to drink a bottle of water and getting the energy to run like 100 kilometers.
Yeah, it's. I mean, some
Yeah,
people
you can't do that,
will have completely unrealistic expectations just because
Yeah.
they don't really know how SEO works. But I mean, the results that you can get with SEO in the long term are insane. That like the results that
Yeah,
you can
of
get with
course.
SEO
Yep.
in the long term are insane. But like expecting those results just because you're going to put in a lot of money at the beginning, it's like you said, you put in a
Yeah.
lot of money at the beginning, but it's like you can't put up if you have a habit of making a page every week, you can't suddenly make 1,000 pages in a week. It,
Yeah, of
that's
course. I think
yeah.
it also comes down to like, if you're a SEO consultant who are looking at a website, and if it's already established brand and they want to grow to a new topic or a new niche, you're like, you already have existing authority and the website is already set up. Like you can publish like maybe 500 new pages in next 5 months, and you can do right internal linking and everything else. And all those brand signals sort of help those new pages, and you can rank those pages like in within like 7-8 months. But doing that activity on a small
Mm,
website, it's not possible. Like you don't have that level of authority already.
yeah. Hmm.
So the expectations are almost like as you go from SMBs to enterprise, you can deliver quickly. That is just how SEO, and that is just how site-wide signals work. Like, but many people like they sort of like think of it as like they can put in today and get some output tomorrow.
Are there any this is always a fun question to end with. Are there any interesting black hat tactics that are just like really interesting? Maybe not even smart, but like I can't believe that this is working.
Yeah. So in Australia, in Malaysia, in Singapore, and in India, many government bodies, they just buy a specific domain for an event. So let's say if Singapore government is doing some event next month, they're going to buy Gagan event.sg, just a new domain. And that new domain get linked from all the other domains that Singapore government owns. But once the event is done, they just let the domain go. And there are hundreds of these kind of the domains which are everywhere. I'm not telling you to go and buy them or get them, but these are everywhere in Australia, in Singapore, in India, and in certain countries in Europe, UK as well, US to some less extent. So you can just get a domain which already has so strong links from all these government websites, and you can publish content on that and burn it to the ground in like 9 months.
I should have,
That
man,
can
I
work
should have
for-
started with that question. That is crazy. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So people are buying these sites and then like putting up completely unrelated content on them for what they were ranking for, or what?
Yes, completely unrelated content. Publishing at scale, and then you can get really good amount of traffic from Google Discover. So let's say a domain that a government let go, which was for like a marathon event or something like that to promote fitness.
So let's like give me a
Then
name
you
for
can
it. It
just-
would be like, I don't know, like the city name 5K or something.
Yeah, something like that, that to promote like fitness among citizens or something like that. You can just take that domain and you can publish like whatever you want. It's not like it has to be related to fitness. You can just go and publish accounting related content and it will start to rank. And then you can go to these accounting businesses and say that these many people are coming to my site. Do you want to do a partnership with me where I do lead generation for you with this one? Because you can rank for anything.
Because there's so
you're
many
like, yeah.
government links pointing to it that even though, man, that's crazy. So there's so for people who don't know, government backlinks are really valuable, pass a lot of
Yeah.
authority. And so people are buying these domains, they're putting up content on the domains that wasn't related at all to what was on the original site. But because these sites have so many .gov backlinks, they can get away with anything. And they
Yep,
do this,
of
and
course,
they basically they do it until they get penalized, and then
Yes.
they move on.
I think right now it's almost 7 to 8 months time period where Google is like, yeah, we got you that there was a change of the ownership from the domain. I think it is easier to figure it out, I think, but I'm not sure like why Google is not able to figure it out like quickly. I think like right now, if there is a lot of content around a government program on a domain, and suddenly someone is publishing content around like fitness, affiliate products, and everything else, you can see the change. Like as a human, like you can say that, oh, last week it was this, right now it is that. There is a big difference.
Here's what I
like-
wonder, Gagan. What if you took one of these things and you just said, I want to make a business in the same niche that the site was originally published in. And you actually kept the branding from the original site, you kept the niche from the original site, and you just started selling your own products with it. Would you still get penalized?
Yes, you would still get penalized.
Because the
And
ownership
I will give
changes.
you an example. I will give you an example from last year. Someone bought a domain for around 800K USD. And that domain had like really, really good backlinks from government domains in USA, UK, and everywhere else. And just in February this year, it worked for almost like seven months. Then they got major spam problem manual action. And they have gone to like 12, 13 different SEOs, like all the known names. They have tried to get that manual action lifted, but Google is not lifting that manual action. And with each request, they are saying there are major spam problems. And even in one email, they said that there are backlinks pointing from all these governments to this website. So
You know what?
you have to.
It makes a lot of sense. Because if you suddenly stop getting these valuable backlinks because the ownership changes and you're not getting good backlinks anymore, over time the site is just gonna naturally just stop being as valuable. Google it's a pattern problem. The pattern of valuable backlinks changes.
Yes, of course. I think if they want to control this, they can control it actually. It's just the resources that they are allocating to this problem. And same is true with the site reputation abuse problems. Even though like we discussed about renting the subfolder, which is technically against Google's policies right now. Like You cannot do that. That is called site reputation abuse spam policy, and there is a manual action for that as well. That's what happened with Forbes Advisor subfolder last year. But right now, they don't want to focus their resources on these things. They are just letting it happen, So you can do the renting of the subfolder, you can buy the expired domains and everything else. Until and unless Google get to a point where they're like, oh, right now AI mode and AI overviews is not our focus, which is not happening anytime soon. And we want to put more resources into controlling these kind of spam practices. So I don't know, even like last year, when March core update rolled out, there was a lot of expired domains got burned to the ground like within weeks. And I was like, oh my God, like Google figured out something. With the March core update, there must be something in the algorithm which is able to detect this. And it is happening like so quickly. And by August, I was like, no, there was nothing. Like they may have figured out something, but maybe it was artificial that they got a list of the domains and they were like, yeah, we're going to hammer all these domain in search results. And there was no algorithmic part where they can sort of like detect these changes quickly and do the remove the domain from search results. So I think Parasite SEO and all that, the jazz that we just discussed, it's going to continue because Google is like, their all focus is like AI overviews, AI mode, and all the other features that they are trying to introduce around AI. But let's see. I don't recommend anyone doing this, but if you just want to have SEO fun, yes, do it. But don't do it for your clients. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, definitely. If the pattern suddenly change, like Google doesn't like abrupt pattern changes. It's oh, something must be wrong when there's an abrupt pattern change. No one likes that. That is really interesting that people are doing that and they're just burning them to the ground. They're getting away with it for several months and then they go and buy a new domain that governments link to. It's like, yeah, I think that's
I think one of the challenges with Google is like the scale of the things. Like there are thousands of domains that they are trying to process and everything else, and you cannot have a system which is like absolutely perfect. So there will always be scope to sort of like do some things which can lead to like manipulation of these systems, and you can try to make them favorable to you. Like you mentioned Harpreet earlier, like he did press releases and everything else. And then AI Overviews was saying that his company is the best one. So that is also like Parasite SEO.
Fun fact, I think that press release tactic, I think that's a great tactic that won't go away like anytime soon. The press release AI manipulation tactic, because if you really think about it, there's not much that's black hat about it. Putting out a press release announcing why your company is great, that's not black hat. Sharing testimonials in your press release, that's not black hat. And AI overviews citing the press release, that's not black hat. AI overviews needs content to cite. I think it's just it's a good way and a smart way to influence AI to talk about your company and say the things that you want to be said about your company.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And but the problem with these kind of things is like what I've observed over the years is that if any tactic sort of like becomes a sort of like point of conversation in SEO industry, then Google sort of like try to do something to control that, like earlier, like as you mentioned, niche site lady, back in 2021, 2022, there was this like whole groups around like, let's create niche sites, have a specific format on the pages, let's do keyword rich content, try to optimize it for Google search and make money out of it. And frankly, like there is nothing wrong with trying to make money using any tactic. But what happened over time is like so many people were doing it that it created a sort of like blob of sites which looked similar to each other. And Google don't want that. I think
this was the HCU.
This was the helpful content update, and that destroyed all those sites. And I think the same is happening with programmatic SEO right now. So most of the brands, they have a page, they have a structure of the content, and they are like publishing it. So from Google's perspective, everything is becoming same. And that is what they don't want. Because if everything is same, then they have to do minor checks on each point and see that, oh, okay, this is 1.2, this is 1.3. But if they hammer the whole programmatic SEO pages and the whole sector, then they get new type of the pages, new sites coming along, and then they have like more distinguishing pages, which is easy to process, and they can be like, yeah, this is how we can rank pages easier right now compared to like what it was earlier. And I think that's why they hammered all those niche sites as well, that they wanted to set an example that we don't want same things on the web, like same structures, same strategies, or things along those lines.
I think
And
I think a
also
lot
like,
of the content was just bad as well.
yeah, do you like helpful content update was rolled out in parts, like it was not like just one thing. So what they try to do is like, I think they started in 2022 with a site-wide signal where they were saying that we will introduce a site-wide signal which will look at your all content, and based upon like how much unhelpful content you have on your pages, it's going to down rank your even helpful pages as well. So it was like oh, for site owners was like, oh, I need to do something about my unhelpful pages because it's going to impact ranking of my helpful content that I have on my site. That did not have like much of broad impact. And then they did another update, I think that was in December or something. But what happened over time is like, don't know what they did in September 2023. That's when the bloodbath started,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, I still remember I was supposed to head to my sister's marriage in November, and because at that time we used to work with like tens of publishers, our client portfolio was mostly publisher, but right now it's flipped. Right now it's mostly
Yeah.
e-commerce sites, and the publishers is a minor part of that. And then many publishers were getting hit, and I was up like at 2 a.m. doing meeting with UK from London, and then at 4 a.m. someone from France is calling me, and then at like 7 a.m. my local Melbourne time, I'm doing some meeting with someone from New York, and they're like, what's happening? Like these were not like niche sites, like one or
So
two
let me
people.
ask
These
you,
were like teams.
why do you believe that those sites, these publishers who weren't copying the standard format of the sites that the HCU was trying to hit, why were those sites hit?
I think they just caught in the broad hammer that Google sort of like pushed forward. So Google's goal was trying to control the certain things that niche site
All right, so
community and niche site
I have a
people were
crazy
doing.
belief about that. I actually think
Yeah.
that was where we started to see a lot of UGC getting prioritized, and
Yep.
just like straight publishers getting devalued as well.
Yeah. But what I have over the years like learned right now is that helpful content update was not actually about the content. There was something else. I think there might have been an algorithm change which is not related to content on the page or content of the site overall. It was something else, and maybe some Google product manager or someone else, they came up with the idea that, oh, this algorithm should be named as helpful content update for some reason. But actually it's not looking at the content. That is my like biggest conspiracy
No,
theory.
go deeper into this. I want to hear this.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll tell you like one another story that I've never like sort of like talked publicly. Like September 2023, when the update hit, 14 sites, which were our clients, each site was employing 20 to 30 people, some were 50, 60 people. So not like usual niche site where one or two people are working on it. Yeah, these were like really big publishers with audiences like national audience in UK. You are really big in France in French content. You are really big in Portugal with Portuguese content. You are really big in Japan with just Japanese content. And you are just getting hit. Like overnight, you are losing the traffic. And then what I did is like I talked with certain SEOs from UK, some from San Francisco, and some from New Delhi in India, and some from Sydney. So what we tried to do is like we formed a group. We were 7 of us, and their name are still not public, and I think they don't want to be public, but we got 78 sites in our group. So 7 of us, we were working on 78 publishers because everyone was reaching out to SEOs trying to figure out like what the fuck is happening. We ran like so many experiments on those 78 sites from October 2023 to mid-Feb, March, and nothing was working. And that's when we came to the conclusion that helpful content update is not about the content on the pages.
That's what
There is
Lars
something
Lofgren
else.
said. Lars Lofgren, maybe you know him. He came on the podcast,
Yes.
and he was like, it's an actual tag. The HCU is like a tag to a site where everything is getting devalued.
Yeah. And that's what we observed. Like, if on 78 sites we removed content, we merged content, we removed internal links, we created internal links, we changed the whole themes because we had like whole control on the site. Because everyone was like, I lost my traffic. Like, there is nothing, like do whatever. So we had WordPress developers, and they were like, we were making changes like within days and making it live and testing it for 3 weeks, then running it the same test on other sites. And we did it across like 78 sites. And nothing was working, like no change was working. And that's when we came to the conclusion that it's not about the content on the pages. There is something going on at the domain level where Google is like, I hate this domain, no matter what
All right,
you
so do you have theories as to why Google hated these domains?
So far, I have not like exactly figured out like what went wrong, like why they made that assumption. And I do have some conspiracy that maybe they tried to do a manual review and made a list of domains that they were like, we just want them out of the search results. That might be one thing. That they manually reviewed the sites and they are like, these are the sites which are doing
Wait, so
all
you're
right,
saying,
but
you're
these are,
saying the sites that you were consulting in SEO were getting manually reviewed and then hit by Google?
yes, that's what my conspiracy is. That
But okay, so let me ask you this: why might
Yeah.
Google not like one of these sites?
I have no clear answer to that. But from my perspective, what they might be looking at is that is these sites have a broad brand, really big brand or not? Because that was a broad pattern across like 78 sites.
So
that
these
I'm
were
talking
small
about.
publishers
These are
that
not,
didn't have big brands.
yes, they were known, but they were not as known as like New York Times or Wall Street Journal.
That's interesting.
So I think,
Because
I think
there were some SEO tools put in like brand signal metrics around that time.
that is bullshit, total bullshit.
Well, I've never given any credence to these brand signal tools. Like I've never found them to be valuable.
No.
But I think it's interesting how SEO tools put them in around the same time.
Yeah. But I think I have called out many of these SEO tools and their metric as well.
The brand signal
there
tools
is no
are
merit
garbage.
to it.
Let me ask you,
Yeah, garbage.
anyone that you worked with, did they have theories as to why these sites were hit?
I think what everyone like in our group who was working on these sites, we came to a conclusion that maybe it's an editorial choice from Google around how they want the web to move forward. So it was not about like promoting helpful content or demoting it.
It makes to me, it's possible because people have been like, so when I started making SEO content that went viral on Instagram and TikTok, I saw the same comments from people, which is that SEOs ruin the web. And people complained about the same things. They complained about a lot of fluff in articles. They complained about affiliate articles that were influenced by money. They complained about, basically those two things were the biggest things, especially the fluff. And a lot of small blogs, they had this habit of using like a ridiculous amount of fluff and not giving the answers very fast. And I mean, I remember I looked at this a good amount, and I wondered, like, is any of this due to just like these are all publishers targeting top of the funnel, and I understand like people said it's a tag, but I also wondered like if one of these publishers put up like a standard product page targeting a bottom of funnel keyword with a product page layout. You have the image on the side, you have the H1, and then under that you have you actually like give people what they want right away, and then you have like a call to action button, and it's like 400 words, and that's it. And you're targeting a keyword, a bottom of funnel keyword, really precisely, putting it in the page title, URL slug, meta description, H1, beginning of the first sentence. I wonder.
I think. Sorry to interrupt. I think what we think right now is that the September helpful content update was more of editorial decision from Google. around
It
how the
makes sense.
editorial of the whole web should look like. So before that, like for years, it was all right to write content. You can have 20 to 30 people in your team. You write content about whatever you're interested in. You might be interested in car reviews or something like that. Watches was one of the
Oh yeah.
example. Like we had someone who is actually really well-known person to be a sort of like a watches influencer on Instagram. Like I don't wear watches, but that guy is the number one known guy in the country to have
All
crazy
right. So
watches like
here's a question.
10K,
Here's
20K.
sorry.
Yeah,
What replaced this content? These sites that got hit.
Reddit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Because
So
because
that's
like
what.
what's like actually think about like what Reddit is compared to what these articles were. These articles were long, they were fluff, they gave a lot of them gave shallow answers, or the answers were distributed throughout the article, so you just had to read all of this stuff. Reddit,
Mhm.
it's and like these publishers take money to recommend products. Reddit, like you said, authentic, to the point, fast, right there. UGC.
Yeah, but the problem with this is that that's why I'm saying like Google made an editorial decision around how the web they want, because what you described is like fluff, bad SEO practices. That was a 70%, almost like 70%, 70% max, I think. The type of the sites that were hit with September helpful content update, but 30% who were hit, they were not doing those practices. They were just people sharing their actual experience. Authentic people, authentic publishers.
You're
They
saying they
also
were
got hit.
small bloggers that were caught in the crossfire.
Yes, small to medium size, and the number of those guys is really high. It's not like one in 100. It's almost like 30 in 100.
Yeah.
So 70 of those guys deserve to get hit because they have been doing all this fluffy content, keyword stuff, and everything else. But what about the 30 people? So Google made an editorial choice around how they want the web to look like, and they were like, we are okay with killing 30 right people because we want the web to look like this. So that was, I think, a mistake from Google's side. They should have been like more careful around doing the update, and
Yeah.
they should have like considered these edge cases that they want those people to survive. And then then I had like a meeting with my friend from Sydney, and he was like, do you think that Google had an internal meeting where they already knew that if they roll out this update, 30 right people, 30% of right people, right sites will get hit? And I was like, probably they had that data. What do you think? Like, do you think that before rolling
Totally
out
possible.
the update,
It's totally possible. Yeah. People were
did Google
complaining. This was September. Think about it. This was
Yeah,
September 2023. ChatGPT was getting huge. It had come out December 2022. Everyone's
yeah,
saying ChatGPT is going to kill Google. Google internally is freaking out. They're losing it. And they're like, we need to make a drastic move. It's maybe they had been thinking about this for a while too. And
yeah,
now it's just like, we need to do some crazy things because we're going to lose market share too fast. Maybe that was like the fear, because everyone was saying it and maybe they were really worried, and ChatGPT hadn't even been out for a full year at that point.
yeah.
So do I think they knew what they were doing? It's totally possible. Completely possible.
Totally
And
possible.
you're
Yeah,
like, they wanted to shape the web and also make Google search better, because now they had a real competitor, which was generative AI. Like generative
yeah,
AI was their first big competitor in like forever.
yeah. I think so. Yeah, and also like what once they have like done that damage, then Reddit, of course, like started to get up. YouTube also
Oh yeah.
is getting pushed a lot right now. But then also like another question like which came around to me last August, like we were doing this editorial meeting with the publisher in UK, and they were like, what do you think around like if Google want AI overviews to succeed, they need original content. It has to come from
Yes.
somewhere. So it's almost like they have to keep some publishers alive who are writing those kind of the content. And then I was like, maybe they will just do the partnerships, and that's what exactly happened. Like Google is trying to do these partnerships with AP for Gemini content, And even they are like negotiating partnerships with publishers in Australia to do direct content sourcing from them. And then I was like, it's going to be like few players who are sort of like feeding the system, and Google will also have maybe some editorial
But
say
that's
into
what I'm
what they are
saying.
writing.
SEO is easier than ever because there's less competitors. And I think
Yeah.
I think if you wanted to start a new site now and then quickly, I mean, we've seen this time and time again from people who start new sites and they're quickly mentioned in AI overviews. They're mentioned
Yeah.
in ChatGPT and Perplexity. That's what I'm saying.
I think
like SEO's
yeah,
extremely easy now.
even when someone is asking me like existing media groups, like they are like, we have these 8 different websites across different verticals and we want to create another one in this vertical. And I was like, topical authority don't matter to actually make money right now. Like, if we live in a world where topical visibility is more important, like you can go on TikTok, you can create content about whatever you're interested in, and you can start to get generate revenue compared to building your topical authority on, let's say, Google or on your website. And I sort of like tried to test it with like my few accountant friends from Melbourne. They were also like, we want to get leads, high quality leads for our local services. And they were like, we should create content on our website. And I was like, does that actually matter? Like, maybe if you go on TikTok where the audience is already there, maybe that topical visibility, just you talking about your accounting services or whatever that is, and explaining in detail the different things, maybe that will get you enough visibility to get your business going. And that's what exactly happened. And then it's all right. And even like I work with pool services business in Melbourne, like they do pool cleaning, and they can come to your house and do the cleaning of your pool and everything else. They were like, we want to build topical authority on Google and we want to rank higher. And I was like, why you want to rank higher? Like, for almost all of your keywords, if anyone is putting in, there are 3 to 4 ads at the top. So why you want to spend so much resources trying to get there? And instead, like, you can just do videos on TikTok and you can get going from there. And I had an example of like a pool care guy from, I think that's what his name is, pool care guy or something, from California. Like, he do ASMR style videos. He just put the phone
really funny.
when he's doing the pool cleaning, and then he add like relaxing, soothing sound to it.
That's amazing.
And I was like, maybe you should just copy paste that guy. And he just copy pasted that, and he's getting like crazy views right now. And he's getting leads from that as well.
That's great.
Converting it. And I was like, yeah, you can just build your business or start your business out of the topical visibility rather than trying to focus on topical authority and rank in Google search results. But once you have the topical visibility, you have a proper business going, you have your P&L right, you are making money, then you can look into like spending on SEO and trying to build that up as well as your channel. Because don't rely on one channel. That is the ultimate lesson in marketing. Like, even if you started from TikTok, you got your business going, you still should look into expanding to your website. Of course, do SEO, Instagram
funny
as well.
Enough, that's why I think that's one of the reasons why I think I think that AInvest was able to get this like crazy spike with their AI generated financial content. It's because they were literally active across all social media platforms. They have an audience of 13.5 thousand followers on Instagram. They hired a real human news anchor who was open about the fact that he was hired just to give a human face to their AI generated financial content. And so like, funny enough, what you're describing is also good for SEO.
Yeah, of course. I think even do you know about stake.com?
Yes.
The gambling site? Yes. So if you're scrolling on TikTok, you may have seen their logo on like random videos. And that is what I recently got to know that they have some sort of like a influencer partnership program or something like that, where you as a creator can join, and on your video, what you need to just do is just add their logo somewhere. And I was like, yeah, that is also like great way to get visibility and do the marketing rather than trying to rank in Google search results for gambling related keywords, which is already like really competitive. Hardest niche, and there are a lot of bad practices in that niche as well, and there are a lot of concerns around your personal safety as well. Like back in 2022, I did a project with this gaming site, And their competitor found out that Gagan is doing SEO for them. And then I was getting legal threats like you're outranking us. Then I was getting legal threats from the competitors. Somehow they found out that it's someone in Melbourne, Gagan Ghotra. This is his address. And then I was like, it's not worth doing anything when someone is saying that this is your address. We know you. And I was like,
crazy.
no, this is not worth
really,
it. This is crazy.
These
crazy.
black hat spaces are crazy.
Crazy, yeah. And then I was talking to like some other SEOs as well who operate in like North America, and they were like, yeah, in iGaming space, it's common. Like getting a threat is common, common here.
Yeah. Gagan Ghotra, I could talk to you. We've talked for 90 minutes now. I could talk to you for another 90 minutes. I want to have you back on the show. You are great. Yep. Everyone should be following you. So where can everybody find you?
Just on x.com/Gagan Ghotra_. Yep. And on LinkedIn as well, Gagan Ghotra. GAGANGHOTRA.
And I'll link to you in the description as well. Thank you again for coming on. Seriously, like the insights that you post every day are just fantastic and interesting, and you give me a lot of viral content, and I appreciate that a lot. So,
yep, great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. I look forward to talking with you again in the future. Stick around as your video will have to upload after this. And for everybody watching and listening, this is episode 800 of The Edward Show. 800 days in a row doing this podcast. I can't believe that. Like 800, no days missed doing this podcast. I started the podcast 800 days ago. And episode 800, no days missed. Crazy. All right. Thank you, everybody, again. Thank you to Gagan Ghotra. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.